Hey guys, this is Josh Vision, and I'm here to give you my Season 1, Episode 4 review of The Magicians. So basically in this episode, we have Quentin stuck in this dream, sequence essentially. So basically he's stuck in this mental hospital pretty much, and this is mainly due to the efforts of Marina and Julia. Now if you remember from the previous episode, Julia and Quentin had a big argument about the whole magician thing. The whole thing about Julia being pissed at Quentin not putting in a good word for her to take the test over again. Knowing the fact that both her and Quentin both loved magic and so on and so forth. But Quentin basically was saying to her that, you know what, you never really appreciated me as a friend. You always used me. You didn't know that I loved you, and this is like the first thing you ever failed at. You've been perfect your whole life. So basically, it's basically bitching between both of them essentially. So in this episode, Julie gets her revenge. Basically, Quentin is stuck in this, like I mentioned before, this mental hospital state, like dream sequence, in which he's surrounded by people who he's pretty much close with Elliot. We see Alice, who thinks that Quentin's actually an alien. Even Julia appears in the dream saying that she's engaged to her boyfriend, that she's off to Yale, which was her original plans, which I believe from like episode 1 essentially. So, and Quentin's as well, if I remember correctly. So basically, Quentin's trying to find a way out of this dream state. He sees a version of Penny who speaks in an Indian accent, so he's trying to figure out a way on how to get out of this dream. So he puts on Taylor Swift, and if we remember correctly from the last episode, Penny absolutely hates Taylor Swift. So even in this dream sequence of him being in a mental hospital and Penny being different from the real world Penny, that pissed him off, and that made it possible for the real world Penny to come into, albeit briefly, into Quentin's dream sequence. And Quentin basically tells Penny to wake him up because he's basically asleep somewhere. So Penny goes and finds Quentin, his knocked out body, and Katie is actually watching the body. If we remember from the previous episodes, Katie is actually in line with Marina and the Hedge Witches for some reason. We don't really know why. So basically the whole deal about this and why Quentin is in this sequence, why he's in this mental hell essentially, is mainly due to the fact that Marina, the leader of the Hedge Witches, and basically the mentor and the teacher of Julia, the reason why this is happening because Marina used to go to break bills as well, like Quentin, and what Julia tried to do before she failed the test essentially, and that she lost her memories due to something that she did. I forgot what she did, but it was something kind of messed up essentially. So the whole point about putting Quentin in this dream sequence was to basically distract everybody, because that would bring the Dean, Dean Fogg, basically try to save Quentin, before they lose him forever. And by him trying to do that, that would drop the guards of the enchantments on the university, allow Marina to get her memories back. So Katie basically lets loose on Julia for basically allowing Marina to do this, and for Julia to do this to a so-called best friend, which is really not obsessive, really kind of excessive for her to do that to her best friend, despite them having an argument. Like, this was like really like cold-blooded crap. And Julia finally snaps out of it and actually goes to try to help Quentin out of it, but it's kind of too late. And at this point, the Dean basically puts like some type of scorpion spell or some scorpion right in Quentin's mouth to sort of make it easier for Quentin to find his way out of this, sequence essentially. But the rest is up to Quentin. So Quentin meets Jane again, and Jane basically tells Quentin the only way for him to get out of it is through the book, the Fillory book, that he had in his left hand. So the next morning, he actually wakes up and the book's all messed up and all that crap. So he has to put it back together. But while he's doing this, he's trying to convince himself that this is all a dream, so on and so forth. The lady, I believe the main lady that actually was in charge of his original mental place he went to in the real world, she basically showed him folded like video of him attempting to kill his father, apparently, when he thought his father was the beast after his so-called Yale graduation. So that basically kind of shocks and puts Quentin in a state of like numbness in a sense, in which he really starts to believe that this may not be this may not be fake, this actually might be real. But eventually he gets himself back together, and he realized that the only way for him to get out is to stop playing the game. And he gets that basically from Jane reminding him that the mad character, whatever, he's the way for Quentin to get out. And the best way for him to get out, like in the books, is for him to stop playing the game by not playing the mad character, essentially. So by Quentin stopping playing the game, he's actually awakes from basically Marina and Julia's spell. So with that being done, he basically gets some drink from the dean. Penny and company is basically watching over him, kind of thankful that he survived. I believe that Quentin learned essentially that basically was a message from the first couple episodes actually, is that the whole point of this university is for them to learn magic, and it's up to them on whether it's right, it's up to them to decide if it's best for them to use it for the right or wrong reasons, or what is right or wrong. It's up to them. So the dean is kind of pleased by the answer. So I believe Quentin sort of asks the dean to teach him, more techniques, so on and so forth. So after that, Julia is clearly feeling ashamed for her actions, for putting her own best friend through that ordeal. And Marina, once she gets her memories back and find out that Julia was actually trying to help Quentin get out of that state, quicker than what they originally intended, I believe Marina actually stripped Julia of her magical powers and her tattoos, like her level tattoos, and basically abandons her and throws her to the streets, essentially. So I believe that's all that happened in this episode, you guys. If I missed anything, please write some comments down below in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching my review of The Magician Season 1, Episode 4. And yeah, I'll give this episode basically like a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. Adios.